What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shalisa if you are new here, and y'all, the sun is giving us a lot of love here in Italy today, but don't be fooled, it is cold. However, I wanted to talk to you all about some of the things that can be a little frustrating, annoying, or just come as like a, what are you doing? Surprise when you move out here to Italy that are just not norms back home in the States. Now, before we get started, my intentions behind this video are not to aggravate or offend any of the locals of this beautiful city and country. As I've stated in my 6-month update since living out here in Naples, Italy, I love living here. I really do love this place. So not bashing the city or the people, but more so just bringing awareness to any of the folks who are on their way to make their transitions out here to Naples, Italy, some of the cultural differences and the norms that we're not used to, so you have a little bit of a heads up of what you can expect when moving out here. So let's go ahead and jump into it, y'all. Now, first frustrating thing on the list is the Italians stare at you a lot. I don't know if you all have been stared at and you can just feel the presence of someone looking at you. We definitely noticed that when we first got here. And initially when we first moved out here, we were like, maybe it's because we black. Like maybe they're looking because we're black. But then we talked to like co-workers that we work with who aren't black and realized like, no, like we get stared at too. And I think we all collectively just came to the realization that like, I feel like the locals here like can just pick up that there's something different about you. You're not from here. I'm intrigued, inquisitive. I don't know. That's kind of what we have like kind of thought of it as, but staring here is a normal thing that you will have to get used to if you're moving out here. Me personally, because I know that it's not coming from in like a mean place or evil place and that no one like wants to do harm to me, I don't really like get bothered by it too much anymore. The only time I get bothered is like if I look up and I see you looking at me, it's kind of weird and awkward. It'll be like, let me look somewhere else. Cause I'm not that type of person that's gonna stare back at you and be like, what you looking at? What you looking at? What you looking at? So I just look somewhere else. So it's just those awkward moments where I catch you looking at me and then we're both staring at each other, and they bold out here because they will not break their stare, so I just break it for them. However, my husband on the other hand, he is real like, I ain't got time for it. So like he will catch people staring at him and he'll stare back and wave. Somebody was staring at my husband when he was like out on our balcony, and the guy was like across the street on like another balcony like 3 floors up, and he was looking. So my husband was like, hi. And I guess the guy was like, oh snap, he could see me, and like wave back. Like he was just in his own zone that he wasn't even cognizant, like aware that, hey, I'm staring at someone and they may be able to see me. There was also another time when we were downtown having aperitivos and my husband could sense someone was staring at him when he was closing out our check. And so he turned around and was like, hello. And the guy was caught off guard again. And the guy was like, oh, well, you know, how do you like Napoli? And my husband was like, it's okay. I prefer Milan. So my husband is real like, I ain't gonna tolerate it. You staring, I'm gonna say something back. I'm gonna wave back. I'm gonna make you feel awkward. Me personally, you can have it. I'm not gonna sweat you if you wanna look at me. So that is something that you need to prepare yourself for when moving to Italy. The next annoying / frustrating thing that you have to get acclimated to, and not only Italy, but when you're traveling to other European countries, is the smoking. The smoking out here is so bad, y'all. It is horrible. Like everyone and their mama and daddy smokes. It is like wild to me and my husband going out and just seeing how many people smoke, and they smoke everywhere. Like, I will say smoking is not a thing indoors. So like if you're going to restaurants or if you're going to the stores, like no one's smoking in the stores, but they're smoking right up to the door. So like we went to IKEA and literally everyone's outside of the door smoking. So like we're having to walk through like smoke clouds to get in the store because everyone's just like, it's a norm out here. Everyone smokes. It's definitely been a couple of times where we have been out, whether it be traveling or just, you know, enjoying the local area where people are like smoking right in front of us. And it's like, you're getting that secondhand smoke, headache. It is a mess. My husband and I have like questioned, is there some type of like miracle in these cigarettes? Because everyone smokes, everybody smokes. So if you're someone who's very, very sensitive to like cigarette smokes, you don't like it, you may want to, I don't even know if there's another place to go, because like I said, we've gone to Barcelona, we've gone to Prague, and like smoking is just a thing out here. It's just a thing. So the next thing that can be a little bit of a buzzkill and a little annoying is the hours of operations when it comes to stores and restaurants. So the standard norm here in Italy for like restaurants loosely are, they'll open up at maybe around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and they'll stay open till, I want to say, just throwing it out here, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock. They'll close, and then if that restaurant serves dinner, they won't open up again until 7. And when it comes to grocery stores, it's like grocery stores actually open really, really late out here. Even if you are a military family and you're coming out here and you plan on shopping in the commissary doesn't open until 10 o'clock. All the like local Italian grocery stores, the earliest they open are like 9. So all the stores open here pretty late, and the Italian grocery stores, they'll open up at like 9, 10 o'clock, and they'll stay open until maybe about 2, close up, and then they'll open back up again at 5 p.m. So it can be a little frustrating. It can take some adjustment and getting used to when you're first getting out here, especially if you have a young child like us. The reason I say that is on the weekends when we're trying to explore things of that sort, we may just kind of be, you know, chilling around the house, eat breakfast at around like 8, 9 o'clock, and we may not get hungry again until maybe like 2 or 3. Like, I feel like our norm is by the time we get out the house, once 3 o'clock hits, we'll be ready to eat lunch. And there have been several times, especially when we first got to Italy, where around 3 o'clock we're ready to eat lunch and we cannot find a place open because everything is closed. It's also an adjustment if you have a young child, if you're trying to stick to a bedtime and you want to have, you know, a night out, have dinner as a family at a restaurant, and nothing opens until 7 p.m. It can be something that definitely takes some adjustment to, and it can be very frustrating. But again, some of the ways that I have adjusted to it is like, okay, if we're gonna go out, we need to make sure that if we want to eat lunch, we're eating lunch by 1 o'clock. We're not waiting till 3. Like, sometimes we may have to get lunch before we're actually hungry just to make sure we get that second meal. If we're getting dinner and we don't want to be out super, super late, we're there as soon as the door opens. You say you open at 7 o'clock, we here, we hungry. Where the food at? That's kind of how we have worked around it. And crazy thing is, we've gone up to restaurants at 7 o'clock and it's like empty. Like, one of the restaurants we've gone to, actually our favorite one, the first time we went there, we were there at 7 o'clock, and I think they were shocked because it's like 7 o'clock. Like, yeah, we're open at 7, but no one ever comes here this early. But again, trying to work around the hours, it's like, no, we are here now. We need food. We got to get home. We got a baby. We can't stay out all night. And with trying to navigate the hours of the grocery stores, most of the times I'm pretty good. I feel like my particular store that I go to, I don't feel like they operate on those adjusted hours. But if like I need to get something quick and I don't feel like driving all the way to my favorite grocery stores, I've only been caught up with that like maybe 1 or 2 times, and that's been like close to the holidays or on Sundays. But I would say just plan wisely. When you go do your grocery run, make sure you get everything right then and there, because you don't want to be in the middle of cooking or on a Sunday, oh snap, I forgot this. And it's like you're playing like Russian roulette with the hours of the grocery stores out here. Something that goes hand in hand with the hours of operations when it comes to restaurants is the wait times when you're actually at the restaurants. Please be prepared that when you eat out here, you will wait. It will not be like a quick, oh, you want your drinks, what you want to eat, oh, okay, bringing you everything and you out the door in like an hour or so. One of our favorite restaurants, we went there when my mom was here and we spent 2 hours, maybe 3, eating and enjoying dinner. The wait times can be pretty long, and it's not intentional and it's not anyone being rude. I think some of it has to do with one, I've noticed going to restaurants, there's not a lot of staff that are on hand waiting you. Most of the restaurants that we go to, they're very, very small and intimate, and there's probably 1 person, maybe 2 waiting tables. That's the max. Most times we've gone to restaurant. It's not like back home in the States where you could have like 5 or 6 people waiting a restaurant, and that's like at a medium-sized restaurant, because if you go to a Cheesecake Factory, you could have like 20 people waiting table. Well, maybe 20 is a little extreme, but you could definitely have at least 5 or 6 people waiting tables. Out here, it's probably max 2, but it's very typical, just 1 person waiting on tables. And if there's a lot of people there, again, you gotta be patient. Another thing is, I do think it is more of a norm that like when you go out to restaurants, the expectation is you're gonna sit, you're gonna enjoy yourself, you're gonna have conversation, you're gonna have family time or friend time. Like, it's not this like rush, like get in, get out. It's more of like you're coming here, take a load off, enjoy yourself. Literally, I have seen locals at like osterias who have eaten their appetizer, their first course, and taken a smoke break in the middle of dinner, and then come back inside and finish their second course and dessert. Like, that is just kind of the approach to eating out here. So it's very much, we're not gonna rush it. Like, you're here to eat, stay a while, enjoy yourself. For me personally, I don't mind it. I like to eat, y'all. I like to eat, and I like good cocktails and libations. So I'm all for like, let's stay here forever. Let's chill. I don't mind it. My husband, on the other hand, he's very much like, I'm ready to eat, in and out, let's go. So the wait times can agitate him a little bit more, but me personally, I'm like, I'm good. You do not have to rush. As long as I got the appetizer, some nibbles to nibble on, and I have my spritzer, take your time, sweetie. You don't have to rush because of me. And as long as Lil Parker is good to go, I'm good. So something else that you want to be on the lookout for that can be a little off-putting and annoying is personal space. This is something for me personally that it hasn't happened a lot, but when it does happen, it's like, why are you so close up on me? Like, at times, I don't always feel like some of the locals are like very aware of like, hey, I've got a bubble, you're in my personal space, and it can be like off-putting at times. I know our landlord, he's a little bit older, and he speaks nothing but Italian. So there's a language barrier, there's an age gap, and there will be times where he is talking to us and it's like he's right here, like talking to us, and it's like, okay, can you like back up a little bit, please? And again, I don't take it personal. I definitely know that it's not coming from a place of like annoyance, but it's definitely something that could catch you off guard. Grocery stores and shopping malls are like the main culprits for me, where it's like I'm trying to maneuver and get to where I'm trying to go in the store, and like somebody's right in my bubble, and it's like, hey, can you move a little bit? Like, you're in the way. That is a thing. Sometimes people can get in your personal bubble at times. And, you know, for me, it doesn't bother me. I don't be like, hey, move out the way. It's just more of like, okay. When I have the opportunity to move, I kind of like, let me Let me create some space here. So this next one is somewhat of a pro and a con, and it is the panic room houses. So the panic room, if you all remember that movie from like the early 2000s, Panic Room, classic, where it was like robbers came in and like the house was like a bunker. Classic movie. A lot of the houses out here, whether it be a house or apartment, they come with these shutters that are meant to deter any burglars, and at night or even throughout the day, again, you pull them down and it literally blacks your house out. Now the pro of this is you can get some good sleep. Got some great sleep with these shutter blinds things that are in our apartment. It literally is like the best version of blackout blinds and curtains. So that is a pro. But the con and the annoying thing is, if you're like someone who on the weekends you don't want to hear a alarm clock and you want to wake up naturally, the shutters that black out everything can really trick your body into it being like it's still nighttime. Stay asleep. Like when our shutters are down, it feels like it's midnight in our apartment. Like when my mom was here, aside, like she was trying to get her body adjusted to the time difference, and there would be times where she's like, I want to wake up early, and we would feel bad like waking her up, and we'd be like, well, we'll just leave her alone, and like she would sleep later than she actually wanted to because of the shutter. She's just like, it's just so dark in the room that it can confuse you and your mind and your body and make you feel like, oh, it's still super late when actually it's 10 o'clock in the morning. So that can be a bit annoying. And you know, you could say, well, you don't have to use the shutters, you could sleep with your windows open, and that is true. However, again, the safety aspects, I've mentioned it time and time again, break-ins are a thing out here, and one of the things they do say that kind of minimizes your chances of having a break-in is using your shutters and using your security system. So it's like, yeah, it'd be great to wake up to the Italian sun, but it's like, I just want to make sure I'm waking up and ain't nobody else up in there that's not supposed to be in my house. So I know y'all didn't expect me to get through this list of the things that can be a bit of a buzzkill and annoyance while living here in Italy without mentioning driving. Driving here is still the worst. Speeding here is crazy, and I have conformed to that, unfortunately, but I'm just telling my truth, y'all. Speeding here is crazy. There are speed limits, but I don't think anyone really honors them. I don't really see too many police officers enforcing them, so it's just kind of a free-for-all. You do what you want. Like, that's literally how it feels driving out here. It is a free-for-all. You do what you want. So something that is super annoying about driving here is the fact that when you have what we would consider the slow lane, and then you've got the passing lane / the fast lane. Back in the States, it's really like, okay, it's the fast lane, but we're still like, fast is, okay, those people who are pushing like 15 miles per hour over the speed limit, you know, that type of fast, not too crazy. Here, it's like fast and furious fast. If you're in, like, that's how fast you're expected to go in the fast lane here in Italy, specifically Naples, because I feel like Naples is just the only place where the driving is hectic and crazy. I mean, I've literally talked to people who like, they get stressed driving here because it's just so chaotic. I'm not gonna lie, in the mornings, I get a little stressed driving to drop Parker off with the traffic and just the congestion. It can be very stressful and overwhelming. But the fast lanes, that's the thing that aggravates me the most, because I just feel like the speeding is ridiculous. Yesterday, I was in the fast lane going to work, and I was pushing about 110 kilometers per hour. I was going fast. I felt myself going fast. Here I go looking in my rear view mirror, and here's somebody literally right on my behind, basically bullying me out of the fast lane because I'm blocking their way. So they were booking it, and it's frustrating. Most times I get out the way, but yesterday I was like, no, you have to go around because you acting a fool. You acting crazy. You're going too fast right now. Another thing that grinds my gears and frustrates me about driving out here is the driving on the line. You know, when you're on the highway, when you're on the street, they paint paint the lines. And this, you stay in your lane. You want to go to the other lane, you turn your signal on, you go to the other lane. Here, again, it's a free-for-all. It's like they don't know what lane they want to be in. I don't know if I want to be in the middle lane, the right lane, so I'm just going to drive in the middle. It aggravates me, y'all. Oh, it aggravates me, because if I'm trying to get around you and you driving in the middle of the lane, it's like, what am I supposed to do? One morning when I was going to work, there was somebody, I was getting on the interstate, and I could see in my rear view mirror that there was somebody coming up the interstate and they were driving on the lane. And it was just like, okay, well, I'm not going to go along with this poor driving and drive on the line. So I was like, I'm going to pick a lane, and maybe you'll pick a lane and practice good driving habits. When I tell you I picked my lane, this person drove up on me and was honking their horn because that they were mad because I was blocking them, when it was just like, you're driving on the line. Like, how are you upset when you are driving on the line? Like, there are painted lines on the highway for a reason. Pick a lane and stick and drive in your lane. Like, as you can tell, this is probably the most annoying and frustrating thing that I have experienced living out here. All the other things are like, it's kind of an adjustment, but it doesn't bother me that much compared to the driving. These two particular things when it comes to driving aggravate me the most. And my last pet peeve, annoying, frustrating thing that you may experience when moving out here or coming out here, and that you probably want to be aware of, is depending upon where you are, depending upon what situation you're in, some of the locals at times don't have the best concern for others. I don't know, my husband and I, we talk about it, and it just feels like everyone here is focused on themselves, what they have to do, where they gotta go, what they're trying to get. And I feel like at times there's no sense of like, well, you know, we understand that you are trying to get here. I also have a place I need to go. So maybe if we're a little bit considerate of each other, then we can make things move a little bit smoothly. That's not the case here. Prime example is the driving. When you're not driving on the interstate, driving on the roads are like just as bad. Actually, driving on the roads are 10 times worse. There's not a lot of street lights here. So again, it's a free-for-all. You make up your own rules when it comes to the roads. And in the morning during rush hour, it's just kind of like everybody's trying to drop the kids off, trying to go to work, and it's just like everybody's in this mindset of what I need to do is more important than what this person needs to do. So I don't care what the rules of the roads are. Like, I'm going to bully you and bum rush you to get where I need to be. And it can be very, very annoying at times. You could be on the roads and it's really like maybe a 2-lane road, and like people will create 3 or 4 lanes because they feel like the people ahead of them are moving slow. So it's like, well, if there's space for me to drive, I'm gonna drive until I bully myself in front of everyone else. It's like, really? Like, we're all trying to get to the same place. Another example that doesn't have anything to do with driving is at the grocery stores. There's a grocery store not far from the base here that I shop at. It's a nice grocery store, but I at times try to avoid it because I feel like there have been several instances where I have been in this store and the line may be long back in the aisle, so people can't see that there's a line forming, and they'll come from another angle and like try to cut, and that bothers me. I don't like that. I don't like being in places where there's no order, no like sense of like, okay, let's all try to get along for the great, like, no, that aggravates me. Overall, our experience with the locals has been great. However, there just have been these tendencies and moments where it's just kind of like, come on, y'all. Come on. Just a little bit more common courtesy. This concludes my breakdown and my personal list of some of the frustrating, annoying things that you just have to be aware of and adjust to as you move here to Naples, Italy. If you are living here as a immigrant, expat, and you have some of your own personal like things that it's like caught you off guard since moving here, put them down in the comments section. Let us know. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you plan on moving out here in the near future and you have specific questions about moving here to Naples, Italy, whether you're moving as a military spouse or family member, please comment them below. Let me know, email me. I will put it in the description box. Like I said, I want to do a commonly asked questions when preparing to move to Naples, Italy. So if you have specific questions, make sure you get those to me as soon as possible. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will catch you in the next video below.